This is Luke 21 and 27 and 28. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things shall come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Elohim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Barakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh is our Lord, willing that the lesson is edifying. It's Brother Shawab Amawan coming back at you with another lesson. And what we're going to get into, all right, is the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, and inspiration comes from, there's so many videos going out throughout the social media. You got a lot of things coming out on the news, all right? And most of all, you got Esau trying to deceive the people to make us think that there are UFOs with aliens in them, all right? Which we call the UFOs, IFOs, identified flying objects, because we can identify what those are, which those are the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, there's no such thing as green little men from Mars that ride around in UFOs, all right, trying to take over the world. All right, those are angels. All right, so-called black melanated men, okay, dark-skinned men on those chariots, and they're angels that are constantly watching. All right, as a matter of fact, let's grab that. This is Amos. All right, this is Salakia. This is Amos 9 and 8, and it says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, are upon the sinful kingdom. I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh." All right. And the eyes of the Lord is these chariots that are constantly watching everything and recording everything. Again, it's the angels inside these chariots. All right. And you have Esau that's basically trying to deceive the masses with nonsense of aliens. All right. And you also have what you call Project Bluebeam, which one of the biggest things that they're going to try to deceive you with. And I've said this, in lessons, way back, all right, that they have a particular card. The Illuminati plays what you call the Illuminati card game, and they pull out cards, all right, and when they pull out the card, they have to basically reenact whatever the card says, all right. And back then, they don't have it no more, all right, because I remember when I used to look into it, they had a certain card called the Church of America. They still have the card, but they changed the images on that card. All right, and basically, as a matter of fact, Salakia, it's called the Church of America now, the card. But back then, that card used to be called the Final Deception. So one of the biggest final deceptions they're going to try to do is they're going to try to brainwash people to make them think that we're being under attack by aliens through Project Bluebeam. Okay, and that's not going to happen. All right. Because it's going to really be Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now, can they make things happen with Project Bluebeam and make things look like they're coming out of the skies? Yeah. But if you are in tune with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and you know this truth, all right, you know exactly how the Lord is going to be coming back. All right. And them chariots are going to crack them clouds open when we're in the middle of World War III. You see, just when these missiles are about to hit America, okay, them 200 million missiles, that's when the Lord's going to open them clouds up, crack them skies, and he's going to come and he's going to redeem the hopeful elect, okay, in that time. And the hopeful elect is be saved onto the chariots, and they're going to be able to see America, Babylon the Great, being destroyed, all right, from the chariots, okay? So anything before that, all right, is nonsense. Now, we do see on a normal basis chariots in the skies because the chariots are giving us warnings constantly, all right, of what's to come to America, right? And let me go back to where I was just at in Luke 21, and I'll start it from 25 now. All right, it says the return of Hamashiach. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Right, and the Lord is constantly giving you signs in the sun, the moon. You know, you see, hey, sometimes you'll see the moon and the sun out at the same time, and that's the stress of this universe. Okay. And, you know, we constantly see blood moons, super moons. All right. Those are all signs of what's to come, destruction to this place. All right. But most of all, you do see signs of chariots that people can't explain. And you have one of the brothers, I forgot his page, but he's always constantly putting, every day he always puts a chariot video up, you know, something that was seen in Brazil, something that was seen here in America, something that was seen in Mexico. You know, there's always something being shown, all right, of the chariots, showing you that the chariots exist, man. All right, and those are the eyes of the Lord, constantly watching and recording everything that's going. All right, they're beholding the good and the evil. Okay, they're recording. See, they're recording the righteous and reporting it back to Yahweh Shai. All right, and Yahweh Shai is going to redeem us through those chariots. But the angels are also recording the evil. All right, so when the destruction comes, all right, they already the angels know who to destroy, basically. You see. So it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are not coming on the earth. I mean, Salakia, so let me read that again. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, right? And they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and glory. You see, that cloud is speaking of a chariot. The Lord is not coming back on an actual cloud, man. That's impossible. I mean, it's possible for the Lord, because the Lord could do anything, but it's just not logic. You see? So the Lord is going to come back on a cloud, and you have to understand that the Lord uses different terms to describe the chariots, and clouds is one of them. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. This is Psalms to prove that point. This is Psalms 104. And 104 and 3. It says, I'll just take it from the top. It says, bless the Lord Yahweh, O my soul, O Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. Point. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. You see, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. All right. So the Lord is showing you right here that he maketh the clouds his chariots, man. All right. And you actually, you know, the chariots are constantly, the chariots are always in the sky. All right. They can have the ability to appear and disappear. All right. So whether you see them or not in the skies, they're there, and they're constantly always watching. All right. And a lot of them like to hide themselves in the clouds. Okay. So now let's go back to 27, Luke 21 and 27. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. You see, so we're constantly supposed to be looking up in the skies, man, for the signs. All right. And if you go out in the nighttime and you go in open fields, man, you will see plenty of chariots, man. You'll see the Lord's the Lord's glory. All right, because that's what the Lord is coming back in. He's going to come back in this actual chariot, in the actual chariot, one big giant chariot. Okay, so now let's grab let me see, let's grab Jude. All right, this is Jude 1 and 14. It says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord Yahushua cometh with 10,000s of his saints, okay, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. All right. And Enoch was one that actually got beamed up, all right, by a chariot, because the Lord found him, he found them blameless. He found them in the sight righteous. All right. And at that time, people were being wicked, so he took them away from the wickedness. All right. And he basically beamed them up into those chariots. Okay. So he prophesied of that, and he said that the Lord coming with 10,000 of his saints. Okay, let me grab this real quick. This is this is Isaiah 63. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in his greatness of his strength. All right, which is that chariot. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come. Okay. And it says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. All right. And that's speaking about Yahushua coming in his glorious chariots, man. All right. Traveling in the greatness of his strength. Right? And that's the Lord right there hitting the chime. Right. And he's going to basically have all the blood sprinkled on his garments, because it's a representation, okay, of Yahushua bringing the bloodshed upon America. Shalom, brother Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Barakatah. Okay. Now, going based off of that, let's grab Zechariah. All right. Because Zechariah had saw a flying scroll. All right. And basically it was a chariot that he was seeing. So you have Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. You see, and that's going into the 20 cubits to 30 feet long. All right. And then the 10 cubits going into 15 feet wide. Okay. So imagine a chariot being 30 feet long, all right, and then 15 feet wide. That's about the size of a chariot, okay? It says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Why? Because the eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom, man. All right, and this is why you constantly see these different chariot sightings, and people don't have an explanation for it. Only Esau has an explanation for it. He's trying to deceive you with it. All right. But to everybody else, Okay, they're trying to figure out what are these things. All right. And it says, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. See, and the house of the thief is Esau. All right, the house of the thief is America. So this is going to be the chariot that comes to the house of the thief. Is going to come into America and is going to utterly destroy it. All right. And it shall enter into the house of the thief and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. You see? So this is the curse that's going to go before the whole entire, this is going to be the curse that goes before America. Okay. That's right. This is, spirit. This is Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. You see, thousands of angels. The Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Yeah, because you had Yahweh Shai, all right, that led us through the time of Egypt when we were crossing the Red Sea. Okay. What basically opened those waters was actual chariot, which that chariot was Yahweh Shai. You see, he was a pillar of fire by night. He was a pillar of smoke in the morning. You see, that's all chariots. Okay. Let me grab this. Salakia. There you go. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait, Salakia. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up against the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble. Salakia, let me get the rest of it. That I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. You see, and to better explain that, all right, beautiful precept, brother, is going into Second Ezra's. All right, because Second Ezra's tells you how the Lord's going to come in that giant chariot. All right, which I'm gonna grab that right now. Give me 1 second. Let me get into the 1611. This is Second Ezra's. Yeah, Second Ezra's 13. And I'll take it from 1. And it says, and it came to pass that after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. You see, that's Yahweh coming with the angels. All right. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Yeah, all things are going to tremble. Right? As a matter of fact, if you read Revelations, let me jump in there real quick. And 1 and 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Here goes the chariots again, right? And every eye shall see him. You see, everybody's going to see Yahweh Shai, man. All right. And they also which pierced him. You see, that goes to show you that reincarnation does exist, because the ones that pierced, all right, Yahweh Shai, are even going to be able to see Yahweh Shai when he comes back. So that means that those that pierced Yahweh Shai are still here on earth today. Okay, showing you that reincarnation does exist. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman. You see? So it's going to be good news to us when Yahweh Shai crack them clouds. It's going to be bad news for the rest of this place, man, because they're going to be destroyed by it. All right. They're going to get smacked with actual missiles. And at the same time, they're going to be getting smacked with concentrated laser beams that's going to come out of these chariots, man. This is why they show you these things in movies. All right. This is why you've had in hieroglyphics and things like that, you've had pictures of chariots. All right. Because the chariots have always been around, man. You even had in the times of slavery, man, that our people will sing that song, right? Swing low, sweet chariot, man. There's a reason for that, because it's a spiritual thing that we understand that that's how the Lord's going to come back. Those that are of the elect, okay? Those that ain't of the elect don't even believe that chariots exist. They believe in what Esau feeds them. Oh, it's little green men from Mars, you know? That sounds ridiculous, okay? So it says, let me read that again. Revelations 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. All right. So going back to 2nd Ezra 13:2-3, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, and whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. You see, another word that's being used for a chariot is this mountain, because there's no such thing as a flying mountain. Okay. Again, now the Lord is capable of doing whatever he wants, but it's just not logic. You see, the Lord deals with logic. All right. So for you to fly in a mountain, that's a representation of something, and that representation is of the actual chariots. All right, which are beautiful movies to watch is Independence Day, as the elders always go into. All right, they show you the perfect example. How do you think they were able to write the script to that movie? All right, because these devils read the scriptures, they know what's going on. You see, and the Lord puts the spirit on them to give us signs through movies, man. A lot of these movies and music, things are a lot of secrets are given to us through these movies and music and things like that. You see, through entertainment, basically. Right. So it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was so big. And that's what you see in that movie, Independence Day. And Independence Day, when that chariot comes, all right, it basically knocks out the sun and everything gets dark around it because it was so big. So this is what Ezra's seeing in his vision, you see. It says, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, because there's going to be war in heaven. Scriptures talk about how there was war in heaven. All right. Michael and his angels, and Satan and his demons, basically. You see? And that's not talking about, you know, the Lord is going to fight against Satan, you know, literally. No, that's talking about the war in heaven is these military aircrafts, these military jets going to war with Yahushua when they see him. You see, when the Lord cracks them clouds, these people are going to be scared, but the Lord himself is going to put the spirit on all these different nations with their military power to go against Yahushua, which is not going to, they're not going to be able to prevail, as the scriptures tell you, man. All right. If you could put that up for me, brother. They shall not prevail. War in heaven. Baba Gushaw. So it says, but where was I? 8. And it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden and innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. You see? And that's basically going into the chariot, bringing out, you know, concentrated laser beams to destroy things, to destroy people. At the same time, missiles are going to be destroying this place also. You see? Let's see if the brother put it up here. This is Philippians 2:10. It says that at the name of Yahushua, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth. Oh, I got to get the rest of it. Oh, he got it there. All right. And yeah, they're going to bow. Hey, everybody's going to bow to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You're going to know who's the true king, who's the true power. All right. These people are going to be afraid when they see these things, man. They're going to have no choice but to bow to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay. As a matter of fact, if you could put that scripture up for me, Baba Kashar, they shall plead with fire. Okay. This is Revelations 12:7. The water for bringing out the scriptures too, brother. Appreciate him a lot. This is Revelations 12:7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. All right, which is talking about these military fighter jets. Okay, fighting against Yahweh Shai, which Michael the archangel is going to be the one on the right hand side of the Lord. He's basically the one of war, man. Okay, just like Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is. He is a man of war. Michael the archangel is about war also. And he's gonna be wiping things out here. Right? It says this is 8, and it says, and they prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. You see, so they're gonna try to go against they're gonna try to go against Yahweh Shai and his chariots, but they're not gonna prevail, man. If the Lord said that this place, Babylon the Great, is going to be taken out in an hour, imagine how quick it's going to be for him to take out the rest of these military fighter jets, the military period. All right, it's going to be nothing. It just said that there were going to be nothing but dust and smoke. Going to disintegrate in seconds. You see? This is Isaiah 66 and 15. There you go. Things don't want to come out. It says Isaiah 66:15, for behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. You see? 16, it says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay? Let's read that again. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh, which is that them chariots, man. Okay? The curse that go before America. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. Yeah, the Lord is going to have plenty of dead bodies out here, man. All right, from one end of the earth to the other. You see? Now let's grab Acts, the first chapter. I'll just get straight to the point. Where's it at? 11. It says, actually, let me, hold on. Yeah, 11. It says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Yeah, because at that time, all right, after the resurrection, the Lord was beamed up into a chariot, man. You see? And the men were looking up into the sky like, oh, what just happened? And they basically said, why are you guys looking up so strange? The same way you see the Lord going up is the same way the Lord's going to come back. So he went up into a chariot and he's going to come back in a chariot. You see? Now, let's grab Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. And 1, it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. All right. And that's what we're constantly doing. We're standing up in great boldness and great confidence. All right. Telling you how Yahushua is about to come back. And all these people look at us like we bugged out. Oh, you guys are bugged out. You talking about UFOs. That sounds crazy, you know, and it's okay. Because all unfaithful is going to die in their unfaithfulness at the end of the day, man. You don't believe, that's okay. It gives us more hope, all right, that we are of the elect. But it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Yeah, these people didn't take into consideration what we were telling them, right? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Yeah, when they see us getting beamed up in these chariots, these people gonna be like, yo, what the heck is that? What's going on? You see? It says, so far beyond all that they looked for, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. Yeah, once they see us getting beamed up in them chariots, they're gonna be like, yo, no way is that person getting beamed up into a chariot. They're gonna have that mindset like, no way is that person of the elect. Okay, here it is, they mocked us, they scoffed us, they laughed at us. Okay, but here it is, they still on the bottom floor of America, right on the dirt, and we're being beamed up into them chariots while they're about to take a whole missile to the face. Okay, so it says, and them repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools account to his life madness, and his end to be without honor. See, this is the thought that they had, that we was just some crazy ass people that was just gonna pretty much be taken out the way eventually. You see, it says, how is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and how is his lot? It's like, and his lot is among the saints. Let me read that all over again. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined onto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord Yahushua, we have not known it yet, because they didn't want to take heed of the word when we were giving it to them. You see? They wanted to believe in the philosophies of this world. They wanted to believe in the nonsense that Esau pushes. Okay? It says, what has pride profited us, or what good has riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the killie in the waves. Or as when a bird has flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, and it parteth the air, which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we be born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth always, Salage, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord Yahweh Shah, and that's for us to have that salvation, man. You see? And the care of them is with the Most High Yahweh. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom, a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand, for with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. All right. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for revenge of his enemies. Yeah, and that's going to happen. The creature is going to become that weapon. All right. We're going to be burnt. We're going to be beamed up into them chariots. All right. And what's going to happen is that our bodies are going to change, our vile bodies. If you could put that up, Bubba Kashaw, brother, Philippians, you know, our vile bodies are going to change it to the glorious body that Yahweh Shai comes. And how's that going to happen? That's going to happen when we get beamed up into them chariots. All right. Like it tells you in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, man, in the twinkle of an eye. Okay. In the twinkle of an eye, our bodies are going to be changed up in those chariots. Okay. And then when we come back down, all right, we're going to have spirit power, you see, because we're going to basically have the body of Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So it says, yeah, that's the point on that. Okay. This is Philippians. Let me grab a couple of these scriptures right here. This is Ecclesiasticus 51:29. Let your soul rejoice in his mercy, and be not ashamed of his praise, man. Constantly praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Be not ashamed to praise his holy name, man. Okay, because he has care for his elect. All right, and by you praising Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that's going to bring you your salvation, man. That's what this is why we constantly read these scriptures, because we're rolling out that red carpet for Yahweh Shai, man. This is Ecclesiasticus 51:30, and it says, work your work betimes, and in his time he will give you your reward. You see, you do the work of the Lord, all right, you will see the salvation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You will see them chariots come and take you away, man, for the good. This is Philippians 3:21. It says, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Okay, so that's what we want, man. We want to have different bodies already, man, because the bodies that we live in are everlasting chains of darkness, man. These bodies are conceived in sin, all right. And when the Lord comes back and changes our bodies, there's gonna be no more sin in us, man. The wages of sin is death, all right. But the Lord is going to put the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts. All right. So we're not going to be able to sin anymore. That's why we're not going to be able to die. We're going to have the victory over death, as the scriptures say. You see? So let me read that again. It says Philippians 3:21, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Okay, the water, brother, I appreciate that. This is Ezekiel 25:12, and it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended and revenged himself upon them, right? Because he has that perpetual hatred toward us, right? Upon them, Teman and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword, man. Okay, all that. This is the Lord coming into the house of the thief to take him out the way, right? Ezekiel 25:15, it says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because the Philistines have dealt by revenge and have taken vengeance with a despiteful heart to destroy it for the old hatred." Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, behold, I will stretch out mine hand upon the Philistines and will cut off I forget how you say this, Shevathims, I think it is, and destroy, Salaki, if I said that wrong, and destroy the remnant of the sea coast. All right, going into the Lord, destroying all these nations. All right, and it's gonna come by the way of these chariots. Okay, the way of these chariots and the way of World War III with the missiles. All right, let me grab. I think I pretty much grabbed what I wanted to grab. Oh, I wanted to grab another one. Real quick. 2 Kings, because you had Elisha that rent his clothes. Okay, this is 2 Kings 2, and I think it's around. Yeah, this is in 9. I'll take it from 9. It says, and it came to pass when they were, I'll take it from 8. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were dividing hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. All right, because he was about to go up into a chariot. All right, and it says, and Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elisha went up by a whirlwind into heaven. You see, he got beamed up by that chariot. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in 2 pieces. You see, he ended up ripping his clothes. Why? Because he had just seen Elijah go up into those chariots, man, and he wanted to go up the same way. And if Elisha didn't see that happen, then he wasn't going to go up, but he did. So the same thing was going to happen to him eventually, you see? And it's all a representation of what's going to happen to us, man. The righteous is going to be beamed up into chariots, man. All right? And that's for our redemption. It's not for our destruction. The chariots are going to come to destroy the 2/3 of our people, and it's going to come to destroy the rest of these nations, man. All right? For their wickedness. For the nation, for the nation's wickedness, for all these other nations' wickedness, and for our people's wickedness, and most of all for our people being unfaithful, man, because all unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. You see? So we constantly pray that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai have what? Kasad upon us, man. Mercy. You see? That when he cracked them clouds, we are worthy to be put onto those chariots. Okay? Beautiful. This is Isaiah 31 and 5. It says, as birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. You see, that's what we hope for, man. Okay? Just as the birds fly and you see them do their little thing in the sky, all right, the Lord is going to do the same thing. He's going to come back with them chariots flying and cracking through them skies, man. And he's going to defend us with it. You see, beaming us up. And then when we get beamed up, there's going to be a whole ceremony. Okay? Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. That's in, grab that real quick. While Babylon the Great is being destroyed down here, there's going to be a ceremony going up on the chariots. And I'll end it off with that pretty much. This is Second Ezra 2, and I'll take it from I'll take it from 42. It says, I Ezra saw upon the Mount Zion a great people who I could not number, and they all praised the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, all right, which this is Yahweh Shai, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing. Yeah, they put off the weak nature, man. Okay. We're supposed to be putting off the weak nature and you know, putting on Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says, where did I go? Oh, these be they which have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, showing you that the Lord has one name. It didn't say the names of Yahweh. It said the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. And then said I unto the angel, one young person is it that crowneth them, and with them palms in their hands. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. And by us confessing the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, standing up stiffly for it, all right, that's what's going to put us on them chariots, man. All right, believing, having faith. Okay. It says, then began I, Salaki, let me grab it again. So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen. All right. And we do that on a daily basis, man. The Lord is, man, we all have testimonies of how the Lord, all right, is always there behind us, constantly showing signs in the skies, all right, constantly letting us know that he is around us. Okay. Let me see what the brother got here. This is Ecclesiasticus 33:1. It says, there shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, but in temptation even again he will deliver him. You see, you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, no evil shall touch you, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna always direct your steps in the righteous way. All right, and he's gonna preserve you from wickedness, man. He's gonna keep you far away from him as possible. Okay, this is, let's see what else is here. This is Revelations And after 7 and 9, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, peoples, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And that's going into the elect. All right, you're gonna have the 144,000. All right, with the 1/3, the men, women, and children that are believers. All right, they're all going to be beamed up together. You know, Apostle Tahar always goes into that, man. That's just going to be one big chariot. All right, and that big chariot is going to most likely beam us all up together. You see, and we're all going to be in the same spot, in the same place together, man. Watching Babylon the Great being destroyed. All right, from the where the scriptures say, from the sea, from the sea of glass. All right, which that's basically going into the windows of the chariot. All right, when we get beamed up from the chariots up there, we're gonna be able to see Babylon the Great being burned up. You're gonna see this whole place being destroyed. Right. This is Revelation 7 and 10. I hate this new thing. I don't know if it's because I use DuckDuckGo now. It just makes it harder for me to bring these things out. It says Revelation 7 and 10, and I think I went, yeah, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb. Yeah, every time I gotta bring it up, I gotta touch it like 3 times for it to come up. This is Ecclesiasticus 36 and 15. And what I just read, I think it was part of something else, and I didn't read it together. No, I did read it together, actually. It's the way I read it, Salakia. This is Ecclesiasticus 36 and 15. It says, give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. All right. Ecclesiasticus 36 and 16. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. Again, I didn't bring it up. Horrible with that. Salakia. All right, but the point is made, man. All right, there's no such thing as little green men, all right, from Mars running around in little UFOs, all right, trying to take over the world and trying to land and trying to take the human race out. Okay, that's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and his angels. Okay, right now it's the angels that are constantly watching. Again, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, beholding the good and the evil. Okay, so everything is being recorded, because that's the curse of the whole earth that's about to go. I mean, that's the curse of America that's about to come into the house of the thief, man, to destroy this place. All right. So constantly look up in the skies instead of looking down at your phone. You know, most of these people are always looking down at their phone. That's Esau in his little nifty witty inventions that he has, man. The scriptures tell you not to be ignorant to Satan's devices, man. So our people are always looking at their damn phone. They never looking up, so they don't get to see the signs and the wonders that the Lord, all right, leaves us with. As a matter of fact, let me grab that and I'll end it with that. This is come on. 2nd Ezra 9. And I'll just take it, you know what? I'll just take it from the top. Point is at 6. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, and the Lord is visiting right now. This is why you see more and more chariot sightings all over the world, man. All right. It says that therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High Yahweh spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, meaning what? That is made clear unto you. All right. We supposed to, as a matter of fact, it tells you to make it clear upon the tables, man. That when they hear about it, they should run, right? That's in Habakkuk. It says, 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And those signs are when you see constant chariots in the sky, man. You see, when we see those things, we praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. To these people, they're like, wow, what is that? They pulling out the camera. You see that? You see that? Oh, some aliens are coming. Nah, man, we know exactly what that is, man. All right. And at that moment, we always just wish that the Lord could just crack them clouds, man. But everything has to play in a certain way, man, in chronological order. All right. Things have to happen in certain ways, all right, for Yahweh Shah to come back. And that's what we're waiting for. We're patiently waiting for our salvation down here, man. Basically suffering until Yahweh Shai comes. All right. So that's pretty much the point. Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To water Malak for tuning in and bringing out those scriptures. Call Elohim La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and Barakatah to you. All right. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who grew well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aqua that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. The water brother. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah.